I should have known the first time Linda looked me up and down like I was some cheap knockoff purse from a discount store. "You wore that to dinner," she said that night Jake took me to meet her. That tone, that look, it never stopped. 2 years in, and I swear she's memorized every detail of my face, just so she can pick apart the things she doesn't like. She tells people I'm cold, controlling, too loud, too full of myself. But I'm not loud. I just talk back. And I've learned in that house, talking back means trouble. Linda hated that I changed the curtains in the kitchen, said they were too modern, said they didn't match the soul of the house. But what she really meant was I was changing something that used to be hers. Jake never said anything, just sat there, eyes on his phone, sipping his damn cold brew like nothing was happening. Then there's Ashley, Jake's sister, sweet on the outside, venom underneath. Just trying to help, she says, but her help feels like a setup every time. She told Linda I forgot to bring a dish to Sunday dinner, even though she knew I was working late that week. She accidentally mentioned I was behind on my student loan payments in front of the whole family, like it was dinner conversation. I wanted to disappear into the mashed potatoes. When Jake and I had that fight about the platinum credit card bill, she was the one who pulled up the charges and showed them to Linda. "Looks like someone's been shopping a little too much," she said, passing Linda the iPad. I didn't even touch the damn card. I wasn't even the one who activated it, but it was in my name. So the $2,300 charge from the luxury boutique at the Forum Shops stuck to me like gum. On a hot sidewalk, every month there's a new jab, a new whisper, a new performance. I started keeping a log in my notes app. June 3rd, Linda said my meatloaf was dry. July 8th, Ashley accidentally double-booked the bathroom before dinner. August 12th, they both said I looked tired 4 times in 1 hour. I've learned to nod, smile, bite the inside of my cheek when they tell me I should cut my hair like a real wife. I clean up after dinner while they talk about how much better Jake's ex-girlfriend handled things. I fold laundry that isn't mine. I refill Linda's hot coffee without being asked. And every time I do, I die a little more inside. Jake says I'm overreacting, says they mean well. He doesn't see how my hands shake when I carry the casserole dish to the table. He doesn't hear what they say when he's not home. He doesn't want to. He wants peace. But peace for him means silence for me. I keep telling myself it'll get better, that I can survive this. But every little kindness I give is another weapon they use. And I'm tired. I'm so tired of being nice just to survive. He always left things lying around. His wallet, his watch, the platinum credit card. Just sat there on the kitchen counter like it was my job to pick it up. And I did. Every single time. Like some maid. Not a wife. Not a person. Just someone whose hands moved because no one else's would. Robert thought it was normal. That's what Linda taught him. That women cleaned up messes. Men made them. And I cleaned. Quietly. Because if I didn't, Linda would. Linda came by every other day. Unannounced. Like she still owned the place even though it was in my name. "I brought you some hot coffee," she'd say. Like caffeine could fix the way she looked at me. "The garage is a mess again. You really should make Jake clean that up." She never told him directly. Just reminded me that he was failing. That I was failing. Her way of saying I wasn't raising her son right. Like he was a kid. Like I was the nanny. Ashley would stop by too. Usually after a gym class. Still in leggings. Face smug. "You guys really should go to Vegas. You know, let loose. Get out." Then she'd drop if how she saw a charge from a luxury boutique at the Forum Shops. On Robert's card. That Jake and I were listed as authorized users. I wasn't. I never touched it. But that didn't stop Linda from asking, "Did you really think no one would notice $3,000 missing?" Her voice like ice cubes hitting a glass. Jake said nothing. Just looked at me. Not at his mom. Not at his sister. At me. Robert had co-signed loans for friends back in the day. Dumb friends. Broke friends. They vanished and left him with the debt. He didn't read the fine print. He just signed. Linda blamed me. Said I was supposed to keep an eye on him. Like I had control. Like I could stop a grown man from sinking into $50,000 of debt. While I was working doubles to cover groceries. I paid it off. Every last dollar. Took 3 years. But I paid it off. Paid in full. When I said I wanted a divorce, he ignored it. Just kept leaving dishes in the sink, like nothing happened. Like saying I want out meant I wanted a new color for the curtains. I said it again. He said I was emotional. I said it again. He said not now. I said it again and again until one day I shoved the papers in his hands and said sign. He did, reluctantly, like a spoiled kid returning a toy. I told him to leave. 1 week. That was generous. Linda said, "You're breaking up the family." Ashley rolled her eyes. Jake just stared, and I was done. No more cooking. No more folding. No more pretending this was anything other than what it was, a slow death. I called Jake over and told him. He didn't answer. Texted, busy. That was the last straw. The damn last straw. It had been a week. One quiet, dragging week since Robert left the suburban house in New Jersey with only the things he said he still needed, shoved into boxes like his dignity was optional. He didn't look back. Not once. I thought maybe things would calm down, maybe space would bring silence. But instead, it brought Jake and Ashley, standing on my porch in the rain like they still belonged here. Soaked. No umbrella. No notice. Just there. I handed them both clean towels, the good ones, the ones I keep in the linen closet for guests. Ashley gave a tight little smile, like she was playing nice for points. Jake wouldn't meet my eyes. I poured hot coffee, set the mugs down to hard. "So what's going on?" I asked. Jake shrugged. "Nothing serious. Just looking for something." "Looking for what?" I asked. "It's fine," he said, waving me off. "Just talk to Ashley. I think I know where it is." Ashley, now that was a performance, sat there like we were girlfriends catching up, asked about my job, my hobbies, commented on my hair, my sweater, the decor. "This is such a cozy space," she said, sipping the coffee like it wasn't burning through her plastic smile. I nodded, played along, laughed at something I didn't hear. Pretended she hadn't once told Linda I was weirdly territorial about my own kitchen. Pretended she hadn't stood at that exact counter months ago and whispered about me being too ambitious to be wife material. Then Jake came back, empty-handed. Didn't say what he was looking for. Just said, "Found it." I asked again. "Yeah," he said, "no big deal." And then Ashley stood up, adjusted her coat, grabbed her bag. "We'll get going." I opened my mouth. I wanted to say it. Tell them about the divorce. Tell them Robert was gone. Tell them everything was different now. But Jake cut me off. "Not now, Mom. Seriously. We came all this way. Don't start. All this way." 20 minutes in the rain, and I was supposed to hold back. Again. They left. The front door clicked shut like a slap. The room felt heavier. I sat there, staring at the mugs they left behind. Half full, still warm. I washed them slowly, one by one, as if scrubbing the cups could erase the resentment. They came here to dig through my life, to find something, anything. Proof, maybe, that I was losing it. That without Robert, I'd fall apart. But I hadn't. And that made them nervous. Made her nervous. Ashley kept smiling, but her hands fidgeted with her bag. She didn't look at me like a daughter-in-law. She looked at me like a threat. And Jake wouldn't even hear me out. Still stuck in his own world, where Linda's voice carried more weight than mine, where I was just the space they passed through, used, invaded. But I was done being the house they walked over. One day soon, I wouldn't even open the door. He looked older, tired, like life was catching up to him all at once. I watched Jake sip his coffee without saying much. He came here looking for something. That was his excuse. Ashley tagged along, of course, said they were just passing through. But no one just passes through a suburban house in New Jersey during a thunderstorm without calling. They didn't come for a thing. They came to check if I'd broken. They came to see if being alone made me smaller. It didn't. I tried to tell him about the divorce, about Robert being gone. But Jake waved it off like it was nothing. "Can we not do this right now?" he said. "Seriously, I'm just here for a minute." Ashley grabbed her coat. She didn't even fake concern this time. Just tapped her phone and told me she had a spin class later. "We'll talk later, okay?" They left as quickly as they came. The door slammed. The rain kept falling. I stood by the window and stared into the gray. Thought about the way Jake used to follow me around like a shadow. How he used to tug on my sleeve and call me mom 5 times in a row just to get a smile. How he used to beg me to sleep next to him when he had nightmares. And then how that boy slowly turned into a man who only listened to Linda, who let his mother and sister say whatever they wanted to me, who learned that silence could be a weapon too. When he was a teenager, he turned cruel, not loud, not violent, just sharp, dismissive, passive-aggressive. He figured out early that I wouldn't yell, that I wouldn't fight back. So he pushed. You don't get it. You wouldn't understand. Linda says, always Linda says. He became the kind of son who only heard one voice, and it wasn't mine. I kept hoping he'd grow out of it, that he'd stop blaming, that one day he'd look at me like he used to. But he didn't. He just learned how to manipulate better. He got good at it, and Linda helped him. Ashley too. They covered for him, encouraged it, said I was too uptight, too cold, too controlling. But they were the ones who handed him a platinum credit card like it was candy, told him Vegas was a good idea, told him he deserved it. And then he called. The night everything finally snapped. Hey, Mom, his voice low, nervous. Guess where we are right now? It was late. I looked at the clock. Past midnight. His voice was shaky. But behind him I heard Ashley yelling something about a steak dinner at a 5-star hotel on the Vegas Strip. He was in Vegas with my card. Again, he laughed like it was funny, like it was all a joke. Don't worry, it's Dad's card. You'll probably end up covering it anyway, right? I didn't answer right away. I just stared at the wall, holding the phone. That was the moment I knew I'd lost him. Not to another woman, not to another life, but to Linda, to Ashley, to entitlement, to rot, and I was done cleaning up after it. The call came at 1:14 a.m. I remember because I stared at the glowing numbers on the nightstand for a full minute. Before I picked it up, 3 rings, Jake's voice, too cheerful for that hour, too loud, and I could hear voices in the background long, shouting, maybe Spanish, maybe Italian. I couldn't tell. He said, hey, Mom, guess where we are? Like it was a game, like this was funny. I didn't answer. He didn't wait. We're in Vegas. Crazy, right? I sat up. My heart dropped. What do you mean, you're in Las Vegas? I asked. My voice was calm, flatter than I expected. Ashley's voice cut through the line, loud and smug. We just got here. Gonna hit the luxury boutiques tomorrow and have a steak dinner tonight. Isn't that awesome? I didn't answer. Jake kept going. Don't worry about money. It's all covered. We used Dad's platinum credit card. You always pay it anyway, right? Like it was normal. Like it made sense. Like I should be proud of their cleverness. I asked him slowly, carefully how he got the card. It was just sitting in the bedroom drawer, he said. I mean, it was still at the house, so it's kind of fair game, right? I couldn't breathe. That card's not yours, I said. It's not even mine. You have no right. But he wasn't listening. He was laughing. Come on, it's fine. You always take care of stuff. What's 20 grand, really? You said you wanted to visit Vegas someday. We just beat you to it. I sat there frozen, listening to Ashley giggle. I'd been paying off Robert's debts for years. Co-signed loans, payday lenders, credit cards opened in his name and left to rot. I worked weekends. I skipped holidays. I made sure Jake had gas in his car and Ashley had groceries. When she showed up crying about her rent being late, I did all that, quietly, willingly. And now I was supposed to smile while they burned thousands at a 5-star hotel on the Vegas Strip. Jake said something else, but I didn't hear it. I heard my own breathing. I heard rage thumping behind my eyes. I heard years of being told it's no big deal pile up into something unbearable. You need to come home, I finally said. That card's in Robert's name. He'll report it. That's felony theft. The silence on the other end lasted for seconds. Then Jake snapped. You're seriously going to do this now? We already got the room. We've already spent some of it. You can't just leave us stranded. I said nothing. I let the silence answer for me. Because for once, I wasn't going to save them. Not again. Not this time. Let the platinum card burn. Let them figure it out. I hung up the phone. And I didn't cry. I made coffee. Strong. Bitter. American. And I watched the sun come up alone. He actually said it like it was clever. So technically, since the card's in Dad's name, and he always left it lying around. It means the bill goes to you, right? Free trip to Vegas. I felt something snap inside. Just snap. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just this quiet tear, like fabric pulled too tight for too long. And I said it calm. To calm, I'm not paying. You two made that decision. You can deal with the consequences. Jake exploded like I'd flipped a switch. It's always been you, though. You always pay Dad's stuff. You always clean it up. Why is this different? Just because you're mad? I laughed. I actually laughed. It's different, I said, because I'm not married to him anymore. We're divorced. We're strangers. He's not my problem. Neither are his credit cards. He froze. What? He said. You're divorced, like he hadn't heard it before. Like he hadn't ignored every single time I tried to tell him, and pushed it off with, I'm busy. Tell me later, like this was new information. You never said that, he shouted. I did, over and over. But Ashley always had to talk about some brunch reservation. Jake always had to check fantasy football stats. No one listened. No one cared. Then why was the platinum credit card still in the house? He demanded. Why didn't you send it back? I looked at the floor. I wanted to scream. Because I didn't know what else he left behind. Because I didn't want to deal with him messaging me about something I missed. Because I was tired, Jake. Tired of being the only one who cleans up after men like him. And now, like you. He was pacing now. Like that would help. Ashley was quiet for once, staring at the carpet. Probably calculating how many thousands they'd already spent at that luxury boutique. At the Forum shops. I asked where the card had been. In the bedroom closet, Jake muttered. Of course, right where Robert would have left it. Sloppy. Typical. A trail of mess for someone else to scrub up. You should have returned it, he said, voice rising again. It's still your house, and there it was. The shift, the twist. Somehow it was my fault again. For not seeing the card, for not mailing it, for not predicting their theft. You thought I'd pay, didn't you? I said. You counted on it. That's the problem. He looked stunned. Not sorry, just stunned. I stepped back, grabbed my phone, and said nothing. The silence felt good. Sharp. Cold. I finally broke it. Call your dad. Tell him what you did. Maybe he'll be the one to press charges. Maybe not. But I'm done. Ashley finally spoke. But he'll be furious. I looked at her. Really looked. He should be. And I walked out of the room. I didn't care where they slept. Didn't care how they got home. I wasn't paying. Not for Vegas. Not for anything. Not anymore. He was crying. Actually crying. The same Jake who just hours ago had screamed at me. Who said I was selfish. Who said I was cold. Who said I was ruining everything because I refused to pay off their little getaway to Las Vegas. Now he was sobbing into the phone like a scared little boy. Mom, what do I do? Dad's furious. He said he's calling the cops. He wants all $20,000 back. Right now. He's gonna press charges. He said it's felony theft. Mom, please. I didn't answer right away. I just listened to him fall apart on the other end, listened to the sound of panic in his breath. The same breath that had earlier shouted, come on, you always pay Dad's stuff. What's the difference now? As if that was love. As if that was loyalty. As if I owed them. Ashley's voice cut in before. I heard her say she wanted to stop by that luxury boutique again. Just a peek. Said she wanted another steak dinner at the 5-star hotel on the Strip. Like it was a game. Like they were rich. Like someone else would always cover the tab. Let's just do it before we head back, she said, bubbly. And Jake snapped at her, shut up, not now. His panic was starting to crack through the delusion. I told him to call his dad, to take responsibility, to fix what he broke. I wasn't going to do it, not this time. And now he had. And now he realized what Robert was really like when his money was touched. The man may have left debt and mess in my lap for years, but when it came to someone else using his platinum card, his reaction was fire. Threats, rage, liars, jail. I knew that version of Robert well, and now Jake did too. Mom, please, Jake said again. Please, you can fix this. You always fix it. I let the silence stretch, let it weigh heavy. Then I finally said it. I'm not fixing it. I'm done. But he's gonna ruin us, Jake cried. He's gonna destroy everything. I didn't care. I should've. I used to. I used to clean up after all of them. Every overdraft, every forgotten bill, every poor decision that came back around with interest. But not anymore. You better start working, I said. You better find a way to pay him back, or pack your things and learn what jail looks like. He whimpered. Actually whimpered. He's serious. He's already shut off the card. We can't even pay for the room. We're stranded. We don't even have airfare. I stared at the window, the sky dark outside, quiet except for his broken voice. I said nothing. No sympathy. No lifeline. Let him feel it. Let Ashley feel it. Let them sit in it. Because I was done being the soft place to land. Click. He said Robert wanted the money back in full. Not later. Not eventually. Right now. All 20,000. In one lump sum. And if they didn't pay, he'd call the cops. File felony theft. Jake was crying again. Said there was no way they could pay it. Said it wasn't fair. Said you shouldn't have left the platinum credit card lying around like that. Said, it's kinda your fault, Mom. That's what he said. After everything. I told him he used someone else's card. I told him this was theft. His voice cracked. I'm not the one who used it. He shouted. I didn't swipe anything. I didn't book the hotel or buy anything from the boutique. I told her not to. You're blaming the wrong person. I felt the room still. You're saying Ashley used it? I asked. He went quiet. You're saying it wasn't even you. She had it, okay, he said, defensive now. She took it from the drawer. She said it'd be fine. She said you wouldn't mind. She said you never say anything. Because I hadn't. Because I'd let things go. Over and over. I let Ashley pick through my closet like it was Goodwill. Let her borrow my coats, my scarves, my damn makeup. She used my hair dryer, my skincare, even my Amazon account without asking. Always with that same fake smile. Hope you don't mind. I always minded. I just never said it. Do you even know how many times she's used my card? I asked. Do you think this is the first time? Jake stammered. Sage said it was just once. She said she didn't buy much. She lied, I said. I've been checking statements. I didn't want to believe it. But it's all there. Restaurant bills, cosmetics, gas, groceries, subscription boxes, and now a hotel room and airfare and whatever else she bought in Las Vegas. And you knew. I didn't know, he shouted. I didn't ask for this. You didn't stop it either, I said. Ashley had been sitting next to him this whole time, quiet. But now I could hear her, mumbling something in the background. Then louder. What's the big deal? It's not like I maxed it out or anything. I laughed. I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe for a second. You stole from me, I said. And you didn't even hide it. Ashley shouted, I'm your daughter-in-law. I thought family meant something. No, I said. Come again. You thought I'd stay quiet forever. You thought I'd clean it up like always. You thought wrong. Jake tried again. We just need airfare. Just enough to come back. No, I said. Figure it out. Get a job. Call a friend. Sell your damn shoes. Click. And I let the silence settle around me like peace. They showed up at the house 2 days later, unannounced. Wet hair, duffel bags, forced smiles. Jake didn't even knock. Just walked in like he still lived here. Ashley followed, scrolling through her phone like she couldn't be bothered. We're back, she said, like it was some kind of favor. I asked how they got back. Jake mumbled something about borrowing airfare from a friend. Said they'd pay them back soon. Said it like I was supposed to believe that. Said it like that wasn't what they always said. I asked again more direct, did you pay them back yet? Jake didn't look at me. Ashley answered without looking up. We will. Relax, relax. She told me to relax. Like it was her money. Like it was her name on the card. Like she hadn't just burned through thousands of dollars in someone else's name and laughed about it. Jake started pacing. Said they didn't know I was divorced from Robert. Said they felt tricked. Said they wouldn't have gone if they'd known. Ashley mumbled something under her breath about being set up. Said, honestly, we got scammed. It's not fair. She kept looking at her screen, probably checking her socials, probably posting some filtered photo with palm trees behind her and a dumb quote in cursive. And Jake actually said, you should have told us, Mom. You knew we were going. You let us go into that mess. My hands went still. My breath stopped. That was it. That was the moment. I slammed the table. Hard. Louder than I meant to. Loud enough that it echoed. Jake flinched like I'd struck him. Ashley looked up, mouth open. I'd never raised my voice before. Never. Not once. I'd always nodded. Smiled. Paid. But not this time. You spent $20,000, I said. You used a platinum card that didn't belong to you. You went to a luxury boutique, a steak dinner at a 5-star hotel. You did that, and now you're blaming me? Jake blinked. We didn't know. You didn't ask, I snapped. You just took. Like always. Ashley stood, crossed her arms. You don't have to yell. We came to talk. Calm down. I am calm, I said. This is me calm. Jake tried to soften his voice. Look, we made a mistake. Just help us this once. We're already back. And what happens the next time? I asked. What do I pay for then? Ashley shrugged. You're his mom, and I'm done. Jake laughed, nervous. You don't mean that. I looked him dead in the eye. Yes, I do. And for the first time, I saw it. The realization, the shift, the fear, the truth sinking in that the woman who always folded their messes into neat little piles wasn't going to pick up another damn thing. Let them clean up their own wreckage. I was done pretending love meant paying for someone else's mess. Jake started crying. Again. Sat on the edge of the couch with his head in his hands, like that would erase what he did. Like that would undo the debt, undo the felony theft, undo Vegas. Robert's gonna kill me, he said. He's so mad. He's never yelled like that. I said nothing. I just looked at Ashley. She was scrolling her phone like none of this concerned her. Legs crossed, nails perfect, expression blank. Like she was above all of it. Like she hadn't stolen. Like she hadn't played dumb. I snapped. Ashley, you keep looking at that screen like this doesn't involve you. You used the card. You were there. She shrugged. Didn't even lift her eyes. Jake said we were going. I just went with him. I thought it was his card. I didn't know. You didn't know, I repeated. You didn't know. Because I heard you say, over the phone, let's just use the magic card. I heard you. She blinked. Then, still calm, she said, I meant it as a joke. I didn't know it was his dad's card. No, I said. You thought Jake suddenly had a platinum credit card, just lying around? That's why you went straight to the forum shops and picked out a $2,000 purse. That was your joke. Ashley's hands started shaking. Her lips curled. Fine. I'm done with this. She stood up and called her parents. I could hear every word. Mom, it's not my fault. Please, you have to help. It's not fair. Silence. Then sniffles. Then a cracked, I'm sorry, through ugly tears. I said nothing. She hung up and wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. They're not going to help, she whispered. They said I brought this on myself. Of course they did. It was the truth. Jake looked up. But we can't pay it back. There's no way. You think I want to go to jail? Ashley either? I shook my head. That's not my problem anymore. Jake's voice cracked. Mom, come on. You're my mom. And you're an adult, I said. Both of you are. I'm not covering for you. Not again. You want me to solve it? You want me to erase $20,000 like I'm your personal ATM? Not anymore. Ashley started sobbing again. Please, please. I don't want to go to prison. I don't care, I said. I warned you. I begged you to grow up. You laughed. You stole. Now deal with it. Jake stared at me, stunned. You've never been this cold. No, I said. I was warm. And you burned me for years. Jake begged, got on his knees on the living room floor, pressed his forehead to the carpet, sobbing like a child. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. I know we messed up. But please don't do this. We're your kids. Ashley stood to the side, arms folded, lips tight, trying to stay invisible. She wasn't saying a word now. Maybe guilt finally shut her up. Maybe it was fear. I didn't care. I didn't even look at her. I kept my eyes on Jake. I used to think, I said, slow, steady, that as long as you didn't hurt anyone, as long as you didn't break the law or bring shame to yourself, that was enough. I could live with the rest. But you stole. You humiliated this family. You used someone else's platinum credit card like it meant nothing. You lied. And then you came back here and blamed me. He sobbed harder. I know. I'm sorry. Just please help me. One last time. Ashley twitched. I snapped. Be quiet, Ashley. This is not your moment. You've done enough. She flinched, went still. I turned back to Jake. My son. My shame. Effective immediately, I said. I'm no longer your mother. He froze. What? You heard me. You don't mean that. I do. You're cutting me off? I'm cutting the cord. I'm done being your safety net. You and Ashley figure it out on your own now. He dropped his head again. Whispered, please. I didn't answer. I pulled a folded piece of paper from my coat and set it on the coffee table. He looked at it like it might explode. What's this? An address, I said. Go there. Tell them Linda sent you. They'll deal with it from there. Wait, what? Who are they? I'm not your mother anymore, I said, turning to leave. Whatever happens now is on you. Mom, go. I walked away. Didn't look back. Just one sentence as I reached the door. Leave. They left, crying, confused, scared. A few hours later, my phone rang. It was Jake. Mom, he whispered. What is this place? There's a man out front. Said his name is Frank. Said he's your dad. He has tattoos on his hands. There's a baseball bat by the door. I didn't smile. I didn't answer. He said, Mom, are you still there? I said, you needed someone to clean up your mess, right? He's the only one who ever taught me how. And I hung up. I called Frank the day before they came begging. Told him everything. No sugarcoating. The Vegas trip, the platinum credit card, the debt, the lies. He said, you want me to teach them how to hustle honest? I said yes. He didn't hesitate. Send them. I gave Jake the address without a word. He thought I was bailing him out. He had no idea. He didn't ask. He was too busy crying. Mom, please, just this once. I'm not your mom anymore. He shut up after that. They went. He called me once they got there. This place is scary. There's a guy outside with neck tattoos. Said he's your dad. Said I better start digging or I'll be digging my own grave. I told him I warned him. I told him I was done. Frank doesn't play games. He told Jake to pay it back. All of it. Every dollar. He doesn't care if it takes 5 years or 10. He made it clear Jake works, Ashley works, and every cent goes to the debt. No more hot coffee, no more steak dinners, no more luxury boutiques. Just sweat and concrete and long hours. Manual labor, warehouse shifts, back-breaking stuff. Jake cried. Ashley refused. Frank raised his voice once. She folded. I heard from a cousin in East LA. Said he saw Jake shoveling trash behind a mechanic shop. Said Ashley was wiping down greasy counters and flinching every time someone raised their voice. Good. Let them flinch. Let them feel what it's like to have no one to hide behind. They brought this on themselves. They burned bridges. They acted like life owed them something. Now life's collecting. I hope Frank knocks some sense into them. I hope he crushes that bratty attitude out of Ashley. I hope Jake finally learns to stand up without asking someone else to carry him. I won't send money. I won't take calls. I won't even check in. If they want to eat, they'll work. If they want to sleep, they'll earn it. If they want to come back here, they better be paid in full. Otherwise, stay in East LA and sweat it out. Funny thing is, for the first time in months, I slept like a rock. No texts, no guilt, no mess to clean, just quiet. I finally booked that overseas trip I've been putting off for years. Picked the farthest destination I could find. Somewhere with no reception. Somewhere without mom echoing in my ear. Let them figure it out. I'm done. I booked the tour without telling anyone. Not Jake. Not Ashley. Not even Frank. Just packed my things, left a note, and boarded that flight out of Newark like I was running from prison. Maybe I was. The tour started in Spain, but I barely remember the museums or the food. What I remember is the air, the silence. No yelling, no guilt, no entitled voices asking me for payments, for help, for forgiveness. Just me. And then him. He was part of the group. Mid-50s. Wore dark denim and smelled like cedarwood. Said his name was Mark. Divorced. Lived 2 towns over from my place in New Jersey. We sat next to each other on the bus by accident, but after that, it wasn't an accident anymore. He asked if I liked coffee. I said yes. We drank 2 cups and missed the cathedral tour. It felt reckless and good. My hands shook when he touched my wrist, not from fear, from something I hadn't felt in decades. He didn't know anything about my family. I didn't want to tell him. I didn't want to bring Jake's debt or Ashley's attitude into that world. I didn't want to be anyone's mother or fixer or safety net. Not with him. I just wanted to be a woman. A woman who liked steak dinners and good red wine and flirting under foreign streetlights. We stayed close the rest of the trip. He laughed easy, slept light, walked slow. He made me feel like I wasn't invisible, like I wasn't just the angry mother-in-law or the bank with legs. We talked about stupid things, dogs, books, how we both hated cold weather. I forgot what it was like to be listened to, not tolerated, not judged, just seen. By the end of the tour, we were holding hands. He asked if I wanted to go out again when we got back. I said yes before he finished the sentence. He lives 20 minutes from my house. We already made dinner plans. I picked the place. For the first time in years, I feel excited. Not nervous, not obligated, excited. I don't know where this is going. I don't care. It's mine. Not stolen from anyone. Not owed to anyone. Just mine. Maybe Jake and Ashley are still scrubbing grease in East LA. Maybe they'll call. Maybe they won't. I'm not waiting anymore. I wake up early now. I put on lipstick. I drink my coffee hot. And when I hear my phone buzz, I don't flinch. I smile. My life me real life is finally starting.